Round three. Again, if you like this sort of content, please make sure to leave a like, share. Um, Shows me that you enjoy this type of content and you want to see more. All right, let's dive into it. What's really interesting about this particular tournament is that I got 3 whites. So the luck of the pairings, though, in round two I had to play a 1900 plus, and round three I had to play a 1900 plus by the name of Benjamin to roast. Um, I did get 3 whites out of the whole tournament, so that's kind of cool. Just by the way, number of people withdrew, didn't want to play the final round. They were kind of chest out for the day, and yeah, my opponent's a young gentleman who is friends with Andrew here, and they are very strong players, and it's really, really good game here. And I had really good chances in this game too, which was kind of disappointing. I kind of this was the only game that I really had a moment of lapse in my thinking, aside from now looking back on my Mike Labuddy game. Round two, I was doing only reaction chess, but I was really trying to come up with plans and just couldn't. Here we played in English, and he kind of plays his Dutch style into me. And so we talked. This was the first game I actually got to do a post-mortem, which was nice. So Benjamin and I went over it. Now, he actually did send me he sent me his whole analysis and notes, but for some reason I could not find it because I wanted to go through it with him. He is playing tonight, so otherwise we were going to try to link up and stream it together and do it together. But yeah, it is kind of, that's what he mentioned. It's kind of like a Grand Prix attack. Yeah. Which is what he called it. Playing F5 is a Dutch, but some people won't call it a Dutch because they refuse to call it a Dutch. But I'm pretty sure, what is A25? I'm pretty sure A25 is a Dutch. A25 ECO. Chess opening. It's actually marked as a English, but I feel like anytime you play F5, I'd have to put it in my opening trainer. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at it on Lichess. I wonder what it states. But either way. But yeah, like a reverse Grand Prix attack. Okay, so there is an interesting thing. I considered doing this, and I thought about it. I'm like, oh, this probably isn't good because he has this, and then this, and I have to move my king, and wherever I move my king, I lose a bishop. So I'm glad I didn't make that move, and I totally missed this in the game. Thankfully enough, I didn't make that move. I played it a little bit more solid, and I would have just straight up lost and would have saved myself the hassle. But yeah, and English is in English. Yeah. So I'm already into like new. I have played against people that play bishop c5. So my ideas are to push d4, always. If trades, that's fine for me. I've got this bishop, and then I've got this nice strong center. And then he's got this pawn just hanging out here, which now is, no longer accompanied by a e-pawn, and it's just kind of sitting here. So that's my plan. And I can prepare it even further by knight to e2, which I like because it puts more control on the center. And it also puts control on f4. So he develops normally, I castle, he castles, and I get to play my plan, d4. And he's pushed back. Note that he can't really come here. If he comes here, it is met by this, here, 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 and here, and you lose the bishop. So we can't do that, just if you're wondering. So that's bad. So he is way too smart for that because he's a very strong player. And here I want to try to get that plan in anyways. It's slow, but mainly I know that it's just I want to keep him onto this. So he's smart. He's smart for that, and he's going to try to stop my plans. So now I am clever, and I brought my knight into the free square. Now he can't kick this anytime soon. And I feel like I've got a decent position now. He moves his pawn forward, blocking my bishop, which I thought was a pretty good move. So he's okay to play closed positions, which is completely fine. I believe the idea is hoping for this and then getting this square for your knight. Yeah, knight f2, knight e2 to me is, I like having the knight on e2 better than on f3. Yeah, if you have the knight on f3, f4 break is not so awesome. But yeah, so now this is completely stopped. So here I had this idea. The idea that I did was I was playing this move to provoke a4, which to me is a weakening move, and it actually ended up working. However, if he doesn't do anything about it, I'm not sure if you see this. If you don't, pause the video and see if you can work out what my plan is. If he does not play a4, what is the plan? If anybody in chat can see it, I'm sure you can. Go ahead and say it now. So, I know I've given you enough time. My plan is if he does not play, let's say he just develops the queen, to play right here. So now we have this check, and we're attacking a piece. Now, there are some things to deal with. He can bring the bishop here, but then we're met with that. And we're going to, this is just trouble. It's just so nasty to deal with. But he's really clever. But my full intention of this was for him to play a4 because it's a weakening move. And he did. So my whole idea was to get this move so I can play c2. Now, if I would have just played queen to c2, he might never play a4. So the idea is to play this and then get this. Reason being is you can see my next move. So he's going to try to disrupt my knight. Yeah, I definitely, he definitely knew that he misplayed the opening, and he knew that I definitely had an advantage. So I played here, and now I can win a pawn. So, and if he just takes here, I get my knight on a really good square, and then, you know, has trouble moving his pieces. So I saw this next sequence, which I thought was really good. I calculated this out. His threat is to take here. So I have the chance to win a pawn. So I do. And I get a bishop for a knight. And I get two bishops for two knights. And he gets his pawn back. And I feel as though if I can break this open, I have a fantastic position. Right here, I feel as though the game is going my way and I am in a really good spot. Now I just have to break things open. How do we do that? So here, I think, is where I had... This is move 17. I thought for about 3 minutes on this move, which is not a lot of time. I was considering two different moves. And the first move I was considering was b4, which I think is just a solid move. And it gives me the ability to now have the b3 square, which eyes up on his king, which is not anything that's crazy, but not awesome. Oh, you think this looks good for black? Yeah, maybe it is. maybe I played this wrong. The time control was 60 with a delay of 6. Super whack. Um, yeah, maybe keeping the knight and just leaving the pawn there is a better. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be here for a long time. He has to solve this problem. I mean, this is the weak square. So if he peels this off, well, it's his move. It's my move. I feel like I could probably just do this, and then if he peels this off, I can come here. Um, yeah, and then bring one of my rooks to one of the the C or the D file and try to break through. Yeah, maybe that's the better way to go. You're probably right. Maybe I saw the ability to probably win a pawn. If not, I'm going to win a bishop for a knight. Um, to be honest, I did not calculate this super far. I calculated to this part. And I thought, oh, okay, well, and then I got the next few moves, and I was like, okay, well, that's fine. Maybe simplifying here is no good. But then I saw this, and I thought, oh, well, now I have some options. And he has a real threat to deal with. And he played it really well. And here, I was like, well, now I have to be careful. I'm going to get myself into trouble. So I see this square and I'm like, oh, I can win a pawn. And I feel like I might win. But I have to be careful because I could get trapped. And I saw things like this. I saw things like this. And I thought, oh, okay, well, I think maybe I'm okay. So I played here hoping that he takes this pawn so I can... My thought was him playing here. Being enticed by the pawn and maybe getting his queen kind of stuck. And now I can take this pawn freely. And I always have an escape square. And, now we have the ability to maybe trap his queen. Now, he probably wouldn't go in. But, that was my hope. And he didn't. And he came here. And my move that I should have made was just coming back to c2. And, I didn't do that. I took the pawn thinking I calculated everything but what he played. So, and here, the other interesting thing was he played so fast. By move 11, I'm down almost 15 minutes. So, yeah, it was rough. Like, I felt like I was just behind, trying to be caught up. I was just trying to make complications. And here I was like, well, I have a chance to win a pawn, and I think my queen can get out. And he played rook to a7, yep. And I was like, okay, well, I think I'm fine. I can play here. And then what I didn't expect was the next moves that played, because I thought he would play this or this. But I totally didn't think of him just trying to trap me that way. And now I'm stuck. I can't move. So I thought, well, I need to do something. And he comes here. And I know you guys can see the move order, but can you try to figure out what I played here to try to get out of this? It was my best try. I'm sure it's the best move. I mean, maybe it's not. Maybe I should just take the rook. But, and then go from there. And be down, what, 4 pawns? Like a total of a rook, maybe? I played this, deflecting the queen. I took and took. Yeah, bishop f1. And he took here, and now I'm just straight down a piece. And, I mean, the game kind of continues here, but I'm pretty much lost at this point, so... These knights are just too strong. Even though I've got all these pawns, it doesn't really matter because I can't get through. I consolidated down, and yeah, not much point to continue on. I went on a little bit to see if maybe I could get a pawn and get something past, but no, he's yeah. At this point, I said there's no way I have any chances at all, and I resigned here. Yeah, a tough game. I mean, he's a really strong player, so I don't doubt that in the next few years he's going to be a master. He's very, very good. He spends a lot of time playing chess. So Lobster thinks that maybe consolidating wasn't the best idea. Maybe just staying here and playing bishop d2. Maybe this was the better plan. Staying here and then, getting the rooks over. Maybe that's a better plan to go through. Potentially. I always have the option to come back to and then come into the center if need be. I still always just have this as well at some point. So that's an option. I think maybe consolidation's bad. I feel like going here was maybe a good try. Might be artificial. Maybe I should have just right here instead of going in, should have then developed. Or potentially, yeah, I think I have to get, maybe just coming up here. He's going to gain access to the file, new variation, something like this maybe. I think that I'm still okay. He's going to move his king. That's fine. And yeah, now it's a game. My bishop's kind of out of the game, but his two knights aren't doing a lot yet. It's going to take a little bit for them to get into the game. And maybe positionally I'm okay. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. It's an interesting game. I feel like I can come in here, but maybe that was a bad spot. And then the other place was, after taking the pawn, I think if I just come back to c2, I think I still have a game. Maybe I'm positionally lost here, but I feel like there's still chances. Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to check it with an engine to see where we're at, but I wish I had Ben's analysis because he sent me something. I just can't find it. And that would have been interesting to go through. And we did talk about the game, and he thinks that, just coming back here would have been fine. And he said he was thinking he has a lot of trouble trying to come up with a plan to progress. My moves are kind of easy, but I don't know. Either way, a very interesting game. I was happy to have had it with him, and I'm glad that he gave me a postmortem, and I got to have some insight onto what he was thinking. He got some insight onto what I was thinking, and I think it was mutually beneficial. And he did mention to me he doesn't get to play a lot of these lines in English, and he knows that he kind of played this the wrong way. So I feel as though I've equally helped him. So yeah, overall, really good game.